Jai Shri Radhe. Sab Vaishnav ko Jai Shri Krishna. We are continuing today with Varta 241, the story of Nanda Dasji, part 2. Once Sri Gosaiji was sitting in his bed in the night time. Then he said, "Tomorrow we should go to Najidwar." Nanda Dasji supplicated, "O Maharaj Adiraj, please let me have the holy sight of Sri Natji in the same way as you let me have the holy sight of Sri Navneet Priyaji." The next morning, when Sri Gosaiji had completed the Lord's Seva up to Rajbhog, he set off for Sri Najidwar, taking Nanda Dasji with him. They arrived there in time for the afternoon Uttapan services. Sri Gosaiji bathed and entered the temple. When the time came, he opened the temple curtain. Nanda Dasji was overjoyed to have the Lord's holy sight, and he sang this kirtan. Pad, Rag, Nut. The Lord's lovely two-coloured turban looks gorgeous, and his enchanting eyes are like those of a fawn. His cheeks are shining with the sparkle of his earrings. His colourful being is laced with ever-new shades. Never has such beauty been seen, nor ever will be. Nanda Dasji now sings. The Lord asks, "Where is my dearest lady friend, who comes bearing the god of loves in captivating magic?" Sri Gosaiji was in the temple when he heard Nanda Dasji sing this kirtan. He pulled open the curtains. Nanda Dasji sat before the Lord singing kirtan after kirtan, and when it was time for the evening Sandhya Arti, Nanda Dasji sang this song. Padagori. The enticingly lovely KrishnaaKinkari is returning from the forest with his cowherd friends, all following the cows. His hair looks so gorgeous, dusty from the cows' hooves. In fact, it cannot be adequately described. His yellow cloth is tied at his waist, looking fine. His belled belts sound is enchanting, and along with this peal the enticing notes of his flute. Nanda Dasji now sings. When the Lord returns home, his mother Yashoda wipes his face with the corner of her sari and then kisses him over and over. The Lord is returning from the forest, singing the Gauri Rag. With his cane in his hand, this boyish son of Yashomati walks behind the cows. Nandana puts his flute to his lips and steals away the heart. Through these sounds he can make everyone forget the rules of their clan. He dons a yellow garment at his waist. The gopis have gone up to their rooftops to stare at him and his beauty, and in doing so have lost their hearts to him. Nanda Dasji now sings. Anyone who has espied the face of Sri Hari, the remover of all sorrow, has the best and greatest fortune. O my lady friend, look at Sri Hari's lotus face. The god of love himself becomes like a greedy bee to drink from the lake of the nectar of his blossoming lotus face. Splendid is that lotus face with its fragrant pollen covered in the dust of the cow's hooves, and his lips are lovely. The poet Nanda Das now sings, the pearl in his nose ring resembles a collection of dewdrops. Again, the ladies of Gokul find all sorts of excuses to come to Nana Baba's house. They do not know how to pass the time without gazing at his beautiful visage. They forgot where they come from and what they should be doing when they see his face. They carry lamps to wait for him on his path, but the wind blows them out. Waiting in the shadows, they throw insults at the wind. Nanda Dasji now sings. Their eyes are fixed on this son of Nanda, and when they so much as blink, it seems to them that the 4 yugas have passed. Nanda Dasji composed many such poems. He then spent a full 6 months with Sri Surasji in Parasoli. Sri Gosaiji, who was always pleased with Nanda Dasji, who received his great grace and was an accomplished Vaishnava. Part 3. One day, a group of Vaishnavas set out from Mathura to go east to Gaya, to honour their ancestors. 5 or 10 Vaishnavas were with the group. Tulsidasji heard that such a group had come from Mathura, and he went to inquire. "A Brahmin named Nandadas went from here, and I have heard that he is in Mathuraji. Please tell me if you have seen him." Then one Vaishnav said, "O Tulsidasji, one Nandadasji has become the disciple of Sri Gosaiji. He used to be an enjoyer of the world, but now he has become most graced and accomplished." Hearing this, Tulsidasji thought, "This must be my Nandadasji who has become Sri Gosaiji's disciple. In this case, he will never listen to my teachings." He asked the Vaishnava, "I would like to give you a letter to deliver to him. Will you please ask him to reply to me?" The Vaishnava said, "Tomorrow one of my men is going to Gokul. If you want to send a letter there, please get it ready quickly." Tulsidas straight away got his letter ready. He wrote, You have given up your path of the faithful wife and become a loose woman. This is not good. Please come back again and I will instruct you in the path of the conduct of a faithful wife. Tulsidasji gave this letter to the Vaishnava, who put it with the letters he was posting and handed them over to the messenger, who went to Gokul bearing the letter. The messenger bowed to Sri Gosaiji and gave him the letters, especially the one with Nanda Das's name on it. Nanda Das took the letter and read it. He then wrote to reply, I was first of all married to Sri Chandraji. However, Sri Krishna ran to me there and stole me away. If Ramachandraji was so strong, then how did Krishna manage to steal me from him? Sri Ramachandraji was fully faithful and dedicated to just one single wife. How could he then truly protect a second? He could not even manage to protect his one wife, and Ravana stole her away. Sri Krishna is the Lord and Master of uncountable ladies, and I am now his wife, and subsequently I have absolutely nothing to fear. At any one given moment, Sri Krishna is capable of simultaneously giving them all the greatest joy. Therefore I have taken Sri Krishna as my husband. Please know this. I have now given my body, mind and wealth, my everything in this world and the next, to Sri Krishna. I am now fully under his loving control. This is what Nanda Dasji wrote to Tulsidas. He had also included this pad that he had composed. Pada Asawari, Rag Asawari. Ever since I heard the name of Sri Krishna, I have forgotten my home and become crazy. My eyes remain brimming with tears, my heart flutters, I cannot speak, and my body has become dishevelled. I had performed all sorts of disciplines, fasts, and followed many righteous paths, but now all my limbs have just become ears to hear that name. Nanda Dasji the poet now sings, those who simply hear his name become like this. What becomes of those who actually see his sweet form? Nanda Dasji wrote this poem in his letter and handed it over to the messenger. The messenger took quite a few days to return. He gave all the letters to the Vaishnavas, and they read the reply from Nanda Dasji and then called Tulsidasji to give him the letter. When Tulsidasji read it, he knew in his heart that Nanda Das would never come back from there. Tulsidasji went home. Nanda Dasji was thus the recipient of Sri Gosaiji's great grace and an accomplished Vaishnava who had the firmest faith in Sri Gosaiji's divine form. Pausing the Varta for today, Sab Vaishnavan ko Jai Shri Krishna will continue tomorrow. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.